12 News at 10 with Mark Curtis and Caribe Divine starts now.
We begin tonight tracking monsoon storms in the East Valley. An ADOT camera on the US 60 near Peralta Road out near Grand Canyon, or Gold Canyon rather, captured this video around 8:30 tonight. You can see lots of rain there, some heavy wind in the area. We are tracking those storms and where they are headed next. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Caribe Divine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Let's get right to your weather impact forecast. Meteorologist Ginger Jeffries is here tracking tonight's storm activity. Ginger, maybe a sign that the extreme heat is finally breaking. What's the radar looking like?
Well, we're definitely trading one extreme for another. We already saw hail yesterday, hail today, and then also take a look at this. Jeanette sending this in from East Mesa saying the storms tonight, clearly an ASU fan because it looked like a fork. I love it. All right, let's take a look at the radar. It has been active, not across the board, but primarily southeast of the Phoenix metro area. And you can see the brighter banding indicating heavy downpour and the presence of lightning, which if you've gone outside, no doubt you have seen a light show. The biggest cell right now, this is our live Doppler radar between Queen Creek to Gilbert and Chandler. This guy is firing off not just some heavy rainfall, but also some lightning. Now, as far as the precipitation rate, it's dropped down to about 0.23, so a third of an inch an hour. About a half hour ago, it was dropping rain at a rate of 1.91, so almost 2 inches per hour. No, it's not raining for a solid hour. These are collapsing rather rapidly, but it just kind of gets you an idea of the deluge that's coming down. Also, tracking this cell out near the Buckeye. This guy is really not that impactful. And of course, we've got a little shower activity slightly north of Casa Grande. Meantime, Ajo, we've got a flash flood warning until 11:45 because a cell that moved through on the 86 was producing rain at a rate of 2 inches per hour. So what are we looking for in the rest of the evening? As you can see, these storms are collapsing before daybreak tomorrow. So I think we're seeing the last hurrah of this round of monsoon moisture. The other indicator, your dew point. Anytime dew points fall below 55 degrees, we really don't have that thunderstorm capability outside. We're still holding on to the heat. Our humidity levels are going up. And remember, we still have excessive heat on the horizon for us tomorrow. So as far as our monsoon meter goes, we're up in the ante. We've got a 2 for the valley, the 4 for the White Mountains into southeast Arizona, a 3 for northern Arizona. But this is just the beginning of a monsoon roller coaster that's going to take us into the weekend. I've got details on that coming up. My full forecast. Back to you.
All right, Ginger, we'll see you soon. Tonight, we continue to follow the Preston Lord murder investigation. And recently, a wrongful death lawsuit was filed. The Lord family is taking legal action against those accused of murdering their son. But there is much more to this lawsuit.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly is in the Queen Creek neighborhood tonight where it all started.
It's not just the teen suspects named in this lawsuit. The Lord family is also going after some of their parents for not doing enough to stop their kids, and a homeowner in this neighborhood where 16-year-old Preston Lord was brutally beat. All 7 defendants accused of killing Preston Lord outside a Queen Creek Halloween party last October are still awaiting trial. But that's not stopping Lord's parents from filing this 14-page wrongful death lawsuit against them.
It's absolutely a lawsuit that I think is valid on its face.
Phoenix attorney and founding partner at Mays Tejas, Blake Mays, does not represent the family, but he reviewed the lawsuit and feels the Lord family makes a strong case.
Do you think this is too early to file a civil lawsuit?
And I don't think it's too early. You know, there are circumstances where I think it's appropriate to wait. I don't think this is one of those circumstances.
The lawsuit also goes after the parents of suspect Talon Renner for negligence, claiming Travis and Rebecca Renner knew about their son's, quote, propensity to engage in violence and inflict physical harm upon others and didn't do enough to stop him. The lawsuit lists out 3 alleged incidents of Renner's violence. Once when he was in 5th grade and threatened to shoot up his school. Then in middle school, it claims Renner was involved in a fight or bullying incident. Finally, it claims Renner was sent to a residential treatment center in Utah that, according to Google, helps kids 12 to 18 years old with anger management. While there, the lawsuit claims Renner assaulted another resident at the facility.
Parents are actually strictly liable.
Mays says if the Renners did send Talon to a treatment center for help, that may help their case.
If it's a situation where he came out of the facility and he's cured, then that's one thing. Maybe that's mitigating, but it doesn't sound like that was the case.
The Lord family then goes after those who hosted the Halloween party where this all started. Roberto and Emily Correa are the homeowners where hundreds of kids showed up, including Lord and the teen suspects. It says kids were given alcohol, and it also claims the Correas knew about it and did nothing until a fight reportedly broke out between some of the kids. Roberto Correa then kicked all of the teens out.
They either furnished or knowingly allowed somebody else to furnish alcohol to minors on their property. Not only is that a class 1 misdemeanor in Arizona, so it is a crime, but I do think that they do have some civil liability there.
We went to the Correa's home to ask them about that night and the lawsuit. While we saw cars in the driveway, no one answered the door. We also received a statement from the Lord family attorney saying in part, the Lord family seeks justice and accountability for all those who contributed to Preston's death. This lawsuit brings them one step closer to achieving that goal. The teen suspects are set to go to trial next year, and Mays tells me this civil lawsuit shouldn't impact those criminal proceedings. We're in Queen Creek. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Developing tonight in Mesa, multiple homes were damaged after a brush fire broke out near University Drive and Crimson Road. Rural Metro Fire tells us that one home was completely destroyed while another had significant damage. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. However, the fire also brought down some power lines in the area. SRP reports that 82 homes are without power right now near University and Crimson. They estimate that things will be back up shortly before 1 a.m.
A disturbing story out of Buckeye tonight, where a former teacher is facing kidnapping charges after allegedly luring a 12-year-old student to his Phoenix home. 36-year-old Brendan Barnett is accused of having inappropriate online conversations with a student while he was teaching at Verrado Middle School. Buckeye police later learned the student was alone with Barnett at his home on at least 3 occasions. Barnett was arrested July 10th and is facing charges of luring a minor and kidnapping.
New at 10, a Valley family mourning the loss of a father of 6 who drowned at a Rocky Point beach. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra has been looking into this tragic accident. And Gabby, what have you learned?
Well, Caribe, even the best swimmers can be carried away in dangerous water conditions, and that's exactly what happened. The Perkins family says their dad simply planned on dipping his feet in the ocean, but then he was swept away.
He was the greatest dad ever.
Robert Perkins, a loving husband and father to 6, is remembered for his unwavering devotion to his family.
He was always so full of joy and laughter.
Robert's oldest daughter, Anissa Perkins, tells me her father was kind, caring, and funny.
Every time I'd go to the store with him, just me and him, we would buy a can of soda and chug it in the car, see who could win. And then we'd have a burp contest the whole way home.
Anissa says her family and friends celebrated Independence Day at a Rocky Point beach.
It was really hot that day and they just wanted to go for a dip.
That's when a riptide carried her father deep into the ocean.
It took a minute for him to turn around and see that my dad wasn't there anymore.
A fisherman found Robert unconscious near a rocky ledge about 45 minutes later.
I did about 5 rounds of CPR. But that wasn't enough to save him.
Anissa says the waves were small, but crashing to the side instead of straight on.
To us, it was just going to the beach, but to people that understand the ocean, they realized it was not a safe environment.
The son-in-law has changed her family, and Anissa tells me she hopes people remember her father for his smile and laugh.
I think everyone should live their days, every single day, waking up and trying to spread joy the way that he did.
To make this loss more devastating, it's been a challenge to bring Robert back to the United States. The family started a GoFundMe page to help pay for some of those expenses. We have a link to that on our website. In studio, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thanks. Developing right now, we're learning more about the arrest of former Arizona Cardinal Adrian Wilson. Wilson is facing 3 domestic violence-related charges after he was arrested last month. Today, the Scottsdale Police Department released photos from inside Wilson's home, where, as you can see, there was considerable damage. Wilson spent 12 seasons with the Cardinals and is a member of the team's Ring of Honor.